Chess, an important topic here, career development, and we have two of the world's experts in helping managers be more really thoughtful about career development. I love this idea. Look, engagement jumps up when we engage in career development. It's that simple, isn't it?
Yeah, the intentionality, that was the word I really circled,
Yeah.
that you've really got to be intentional about it. And, it reminds me of our wonderful sponsor, Magic Mind. You got to be intentional about your mental health, and you got to be intentional about taking it. I love the power of their ingredients, that they're all natural. You get a 48% discount when you go to their website, magicmind.com/Gostick and Elton. That's and not the ampersand. Gostick and Elton 20. It's really interesting that when you use natural ingredients, you're really intentional about where you source all your ingredients, that you get a natural and very nice up. I love they talk about you're in the zone, you're in the flow for 7 hours with Magic Mind, and you have to be intentional about it. I use it every Monday morning, for example. Back to our wonderful guests in, watch them grow or watch them go. I thought it was really interesting that they start off by saying you've got to have a trusting environment. You've got to have psychological safety. And we talk about that a lot, don't we?
It's, as we've been hearing this a little lately, it's table stakes, right? That you've
Yep.
got to create this psychologically safe place. Unfortunately, we're doing a lot of things that are throwing that off right now. And I'm not saying you can't, we have to stop this, but return to work, when we've allowed people to have this flexibility, layoffs are happening, job security is reduced, et cetera. We could go on for a long time. That there's a lot of things that are adding to uncertainty right now for your employees. Well, as an individual manager, you have no control over those things. What you can control is how you develop your people.
Absolutely. The thing that they keep coming back to, which I thought was really interesting, was, can I tell my manager the truth?
Yeah.
And as a manager, are you open to people actually telling you the truth? And what do you do with that? That trusting environment. Now, we mentioned, what if you don't have a manager like that? And of course, the idea is that you say, well, find somebody in the organization, which I thought was a great takeaway, where you can get, honest and open feedback, somebody that you do trust, to talk about where you are in your growth path, that maybe you're in the wrong spot, and how do you correct that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did quite a bit of work with Michigan Medicine, and their most popular program they ever put together was like an hour-long mentoring session where you could just choose a leader from anywhere in the organization, and this person would give you an hour of their time just to mentor. And it's really terrific. And what they're saying with this all is, look, career development discussions don't need to be 2 hours and you plan for. A lot of it is just, I loved what Bev said. Why the smile? Why the frown? That's a way to start a conversation. That's a great question. Doesn't need to be daunting, doesn't need to be all this thing, but a savvy manager, as Julie says, is looking for pauses. They're looking for, boy, you were really connected on this last project, but this time you're seeming a little disconnected. What's going on? You're looking for cues.
Yeah, they're good questions. And they said all throughout the book, there are a lot of good questions. The one I liked was, what got you excited about this project? What was it that really lit a fire underneath you that got you that smile as opposed to that frown, right? Yeah. I really appreciated at the end when they talked about their practices on tamping down their anxiety, when they said, take 2 minutes for yourself. We don't take enough time for ourselves to just sit and think and reflect. Where do I want to go? What am I going to do? What's the next chapter? And then bring really good people into the conversation. That was my last really big takeaway. But I love their attitude around, workplaces of trust and engagement, that AI, it can be a real help to that. There's nothing better, though, than sitting down person to person, eye to eye.
Yeah. And we use an actual person to produce this podcast, not AI. A lot of people are pushing us that way. And we say, no. We're going to stick with our producer, Brent Klein, who is a real human. So is Christy Lawrence, our booking manager. She helps us find amazing guests. We want to thank them. We want to thank all of you who've listened in. If you like the podcast, please share it. We'd also love you to visit thecultureworks.com for free resources to help you and your team thrive.
Yeah, and we love speaking, whether it's in person or virtual. We speak all over the world to audiences, literally in every industry, and we'd love to come and visit you and talk about topics of culture, teamwork, resilience, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about your event. And of course, lots of resources on, as Adrian mentioned, on thecultureworks.com. You can find our books in Audible, on Lit Video Books, on Amazon. Please pick up a copy. And if you like it, share with a friend. As always, Adrian, I would like to give you the last word.
Well, from rainy Park City, Utah, we're going to sign off here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Until next time, we wish you the best of mental health.